Hello and welcome to the Superhero Hub. I'm Sam,
Matt.
and today we're reviewing.
Starship Discovery.
Yeah, um, I thought this episode was great, and I'll tell you why. Um, Actually, no, we'll do a quick plot thing. So yeah, this was kind of batty. Um, I guess they've kind of got a hard on for this tractor beam business because we had tractor beam in last episode and then we had tractor beaming in this episode. It's like calm down. So yeah, I guess Michael's on a prison ship heading towards somewhere, but then they get attacked. Well, not attacked. I guess there's like creatures in space that feed on electricity, so they land on the ship, and I guess they start doing stuff to it. And then Michael's all like, as long as they're like the pilot whips them off or whatever, there'll be no problem. And then you just see like the pilot mess it up, I guess, and just fly past the window. So yeah, and then it's like, what's gonna happen? And then tractor beam. It's cool. They get beamed across upon the USS Discovery, which is a science ship, but it isn't. It's like real sinister, right? And I guess I kind of like that because it added a bit.
Oh yeah, it's a science ship, but they're going to war, so everything's being, I guess, converted to a warship anyway.
Yeah. Well. No, generally what they're doing, I mean, whatever projects on that ship were kind of like for the benefit of the people, all of a sudden now they're kind of getting turned to be used for more sinister means.
Right, that's what I mean. It's being converted. That was its initial purpose, but now it's being converted to help the war effort.
Yeah, but is that so though? I mean, like
What do you mean?
Starfleet have got to they can't be like completely clean, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but they're covert. That's the point.
So it's like in some sense the Klingons are out there, but like Starfleet are like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with us, or whatever we do we can justify, but really we're not much better than anyone else.
It's just feeling like, and the captain, Jason Isaacs, it's feeling a bit like you didn't see the latest movie, did you? Or the Beyond.
No.
Like, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but the basic thing was in that film is Idris Elba was a captain in wartime. But now they're at peace, there's no need for him, and the Federation have kind of discarded him and all the things he did because it doesn't fit in with their we're about peace, all that crap, right? And it seems like that's what Jason Isaacs is. He's just like wartime captain. He wouldn't fit in any other show. He could never be the captain in TNG or Kirk's place. And I'm wondering if he can be the captain long term in this show. Is it going to end up with Michael being the captain by the time we get through to the finale?
All I'm saying is there's a lot of booky stuff going on, and I like it because he's got to be up to stuff. So there's got to be, you know what I mean? Because you always have the people who are like doing this stuff, and then they start to abuse their power, and then all of a sudden he's doing stuff that he ain't telling Starfleet about, and then it's like a big thing. So yeah, I guess everyone's like mugging Michael off and stuff like that. At the dinner time there's fights, and then I guess it's like, yo, we'll put you to good use. Let's have you solving mathematical problems. And then she runs into that guy, and then he's kind of dismissive of her, and she's like, yo, there's error in this stuff. And then you kind of get the whole sciencey thing. Her roommate, Tilly, I kind of like her, and I guess they make her kind of batty with the whole bed thing and the snoring, and then she kind of mugs Michael off as well. You can tell her taking a back step, and then yeah, so they're doing their stuff, and then Michael's investigating, what they're really doing there, and then she breaks into the place, and she finds that like garden or whatever. It's all kind of very, very kind of specific. And then she meets up with Saru, and they're kind of like Saru mugs her off, and then I guess they're kind of friends now. So I guess those four, the super sciencey guy whose partner was on the other ship, the Glenn, Tilly, Saru, her, and the captain are like the main people.
Yeah, that'd agree. We're in a weird position of being in the third episode, and now we're getting to meet the crew. I guess this is all of them. It kind of fit. I still don't quite know what everyone's role on the ship is. Obviously, the sciencey guy is Scotty, right? He's the dude that's going to run the engine and do all that science crap. The captain's got his spot. Saru is first officer. But if that's the case, then what's Michael? Is she even a star? I mean, has she been recommissioned into Starfleet now? That's what I can't quite work out.
I don't know. Do you know like Sulu is in the first film? Do you know where he goes and does stuff as well? Like.
You mean the 2009 film?
Yeah. Think of
But he's on the helm though. He's still. That's his spot. What I mean is, I don't get what her spot is on the ship.
Think of her like Captain Kirk if he wasn't captain.
I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, and then I get reports of like the Glenn going down, and they're working. The science guy, his boyfriend, their team got split up. So it was them two working on something, then they got split up and put on separate ships, and he's working over there, and then that's kind of like powered down and stuff. So this is the bit that I thought was cool. This was kind of edgy and atmospheric when they land. When they kind of, is this dark for Star Trek?
Yeah.
Like I was gonna say, because they kind of land on there, and it's all like it seemed kind of like Alien or The Thing, you know what I mean? All real dark, and they're going through this facility, and it's all quiet, and you're seeing mangled bodies and stuff like that. And there's like a creature in the thing. I thought the Klingon thing was kind of cool as well. You had the Klingon there, and he's like shush, and then I kind of maybe would have liked it if he didn't get killed straight away, and they kind of worked together or whatever. Something like that, but I think they kind of they mullered him straight away, and you got this weird cat thing going, like monster thing. Did they actually were they like experimenting on that, or like, because that's not initially what they were there to retrieve, because they were.
That's why I can't work out what the overall plan was, what exactly was going on, because at the end of the episode, isn't that what the captain's got? Jason Isles, like he's got a thing, like a pet or something.
Yeah, he's got the cat there, but originally they were sent there to get the other part of the research that the guy was working on, and that turns out to be some like super like traveling thing where you can be anywhere at once, and it's like what they're going to use to beat the Klingons and stuff like that. But they get that off the ship as well. For some reason, and I mean the kind of thing that's batty is that did you get the next time on Star Trek Discovery thing?
Yeah,
and they've got the whole they end up letting it out like next episode, so really it's a plot device, because I mean why else would you kind of bring it with you? But yeah, I like the whole going through the ship and like it chasing them, and the kind of bookiness and kind of like eerie. I like that.
It was very dark, like you said, for Star Trek. The shows, I know DS9 was quite serialized, but that was kind of a one-off in terms of a general Star Trek show. What I do wonder about the show is, I'm kind of liking it so far. I have some issues, but I think it's alright so far. But I'm wondering, will this show piss off the hardcore Trekkies even more than the Abrams movies?
How so?
Because this is pretty good, and like I said, DS9 eventually moved into covering war and the Dominion War and all that crap, but it started off as basically a Star Trek show, and this ain't Star Trek.
Well,
like I'm liking it, but it ain't Star Trek.
When I was sitting there and watching it, like I was thinking to myself, like, if you're going out in space and stuff like that, it ain't all gonna be goody, is it? You're gonna
like I say, I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah.
But I'm saying put a different title on the show. Take away the Federation. It could be any other sci-fi thing. It's not Star Trek, which is fine. And we're not hardcore Trekkies. I'm not bothered by that. But I'm thinking if you are, you're probably not going to... You ain't even finding Kirk and Spock here.
Maybe they're trying to show like the dark side of like what's going on, because it is wartime. Like, you know what I mean? It ain't all gonna be goody goody, and I kind of like it. It's like if you look at The Gifted, it's like this like family TV show on the run, and it just happens to be in the X-Men universe. This is like the perils of wartime, and it just happens to be in the Star Trek universe. You know what I mean? But it's edgy and different because you don't really want the same thing. You know what I mean?
It is edgy, it's different, but what... And look, like I say, it's not really a complaint for me because I'm liking it, but what part of my feelings with that is, in America anyway, this is on Netflix in the UK, but in America, this is like the launching of this big, well, I say big, of this like CBS app thing, right? That's what it's on.
Yeah.
It's like they're expecting hardcore Trekkies to be the ones that are going to pay for this, because they're the ones that are desperately going to want to watch it. But then they do that, and they get a show that's not really Star Trek.
Well,
like, how's that going to go down with them?
Well, it is kind of before everything, so maybe that's how they can explain it away.
It's not before Enterprise. It's 10 years before the original Trek, but Enterprise is a long time before that.
So what are you getting at?
What I'm getting at is, for people like you and me who don't love Star Trek, it's fine. I can watch the show and kind of enjoy it, but they've built this entire platform, the CBS app, to try and rival, HBO Go and Netflix and all this stuff, on the Star Trek franchise, and built a show that doesn't really reflect the Star Trek franchise, at least as far as I understand it. So is a hardcore Trekkie going to buy this damn app, watch this thing, think this ain't Star Trek, and then they're gonna cancel their subscription, and it's gonna be dead in the water?
Well, think of it like the comic book guy in The Simpsons. People love to hate stuff, so people I imagine hardcore Trekkers would watch it and keep the description up. If they like it, they like it. Some people are like, they like to say they don't like stuff even if they do like it. So I mean, and then they can go on their blogs and be like, oh yeah, it's whack, blah blah blah. So I mean, people will get something out of it whether they like it or not.
I just think it's a risk, though. I'm all for it.
I'm not an executive at CBS, so I mean, it ain't going to bother me. All those people who had the same problem with the J.J. Abrams films, they all still went and watched the film.
Maybe they did, and part of the issue is the Star Trek fan base is getting older, and you got to make new fans. But I mean, I agree. This is the reality, isn't it? It's 50 years old. The people who wanted that, times change. I'm just saying, to build this entire app around something that doesn't reflect what the original franchise was seems risky to me.
Okay, let's talk numbers.
You've I'll give it an 8.
Enough.
I thought it was alright. I think I'm interested to see where to take it. How long are you going to keep Jason Isaacs around? You don't cast that dude as a hero. I think he's going to be a villain. It's like, how long is this war going to last? How serialized is the show going to be? Is he going to be the captain for the majority, or are they going to bump him off at the end and then Michael's the captain for the rest of the show?
Well, they can have a war. It's not like the war's just going to last this season and that's it. You got to think these wars last like decades. You know what I mean? And even
it won't be decades though, would it? I mean, we got supposed 10 years until normal Trek launches.
Well, I mean, you've got to look at it as well as like, even this episode, the war's in the background. You got everyone else doing their thing, and it just so happens there's a war on. So yeah, it's in the background, and it just used an excuse for certain people doing certain things, but it's not like the be all and end all. Like what are the Borg and what are the Romulans doing? Really, it's just a war between...
There are no Borg.
Yeah, so at the moment it's like a war between the Klingons and the Federation, but you've got about, hundreds of other people who aren't involved with it doing their own flex.
True, but I mean, like we say, we haven't seen much of the show so far, but 3 episodes in, it doesn't look like a conventional Trek show where they're traveling to planet. Like you say, they're carrying on the storyline in the next episode. And it does seem like, at the minute, the war is the be-all and end-all. It's what everything revolves around.
I say we'll wait for next episode, because from the preview that I watched of next episode, it looks completely different to this.
Well, we'll see. Maybe that has something to do with the showrunner changing as well.
Yeah. I'm Sam.
I'm Matt.
I'll give this episode an 8, and we'll see you next week for more Star Trek Discovery.